And before I proceed, please note that the following summary is not based on my thoughts or words, but rather the words of first, as we saw, well-respected Muslim texts, and second, those who use this hadith as a polemic against Islam. Muhammad took his close companion, Abdullah, into the desert at night. He warned him to wait behind a line and went off at a distance, apparently for a pre-planned rendezvous. Before long, Abdullah saw several naked men from the people of Al-Zut, described in the sources as tall, lean, virile, and with large penises. These men then took turns riding or mounting the Prophet all night long. They also tried to reach him, but Abdullah immediately sat down, apparently to protect that one part of his body they were trying to access. As the sun rose, these naked men began to depart, even as Muhammad returned in pain, limping towards Abdullah and saying how Al-Zut had injured him. He then lays in his companion's lap and falls asleep. Finally, as a reflection of what Muhammad thought of that night, he went on to enshrine it as an aspect of paradise where the, quote, penis never weakens, end quote.
When the sun sank low, when the muddy pools glow, after sunset the desert was dark and cold. Muhammad strolled out where the night winds blow, met the men of Al-Zut, tall, black and bold. Naked they stood with limbs long and grand, and the moonlight's gleam on the desert sand. A full moon rose and without much delay, the Prophet dropped his robe and declared, I'm gay. Under the full moon, Muhammad turns gay, off to a desert orgy where the black fellas play. Allahu Akbar, he shouts his designated phrase, but they just cheer louder, caught up in the craze. They think he's in bliss, not crying for aid, while his buddies outside thinking prayers are being made.
Brother,
He marks a line in sand, a boundary clear. Stay here, my friend, or you'll disappear. Cross this line and your soul's out of luck. I'm off to pray till the sun comes up. Off he went with a wink and a grin to the Zuts. Wild, well, party where the fun begins. Now we stand, walk slow like a Freeman, dodge a worm. Side eyes the dunes with a twitch and a squirm. Under the full moon, Muhammad turns gay, off to a desert orgy where the black fellas play. His designated phrase, but they just cheer louder, caught up in the craze. They think he's in bliss, not crying for aid, while his buddies outside thinking prayers are being made. Banyan sat by the line in the sand, heard Allahu Akbar boom through the land. Thought my props worshiping, what a blessed night, not knowing that shout was a safe word to fright. All night long, no shouts filled the air. The boys kept on riding, no mercy to spare. They were playing bud darts and he was the dartboard. Now he's limping in the desert, begging no more. At sunrise, he limped back, holding his behind, walking like his legs had lost their mind. Harder than the black stone, he groaned with the winds. Those up boys don't quit, my boss got no defense. He flopped on his friend's lap, exhausted and sore, fell fast asleep, couldn't take no more. Then a fart slipped out like a whistle it sang. His swollen behind gave a comical twang. Mo's friend said, I hear the wind blowing, ain't no trees here, so what's that flowing? Momo laughed and said with sass, that wasn't the wind, that was my ass. Mo's friend said, I hear the wind blowing, ain't no trees here, so what's that flowing? Momo laughed and said with sass, that wasn't the wind, that was my ass. The full moon, Muhammad turns gay, off to a desert orgy where the black fellas play. Allahu Akbar, he shouts his designated phrase, but they just cheer louder, caught up in the craze. They think he's in bliss, not crying for aid, while his buddies outside thinking prayers are being made.
brother, brother,